Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought you were just average? Maybe you walk into a room and no one stares. You sit in silence, unnoticed, convinced there's nothing special about you. You scroll through social media, comparing yourself to people louder, flashier, more praised. And deep down, a quiet voice whispers, "I'm not enough." But let me tell you something most people will never say to your face. You are far more attractive than you realize. And the reason no one says it isn't because it's not true. It's because they feel it before they understand it. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room to command attention. Real presence doesn't scream. It moves silently. It disrupts without effort. Some people don't compliment you because they assume you already know. Others stay quiet because your quiet power intimidates them. Your energy, your calm confidence, your stillness, it unsettles the ones who depend on noise to feel important. But make no mistake, they notice. Being attractive isn't just about looks. It's about the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you don't chase validation. People can sense it, and often that scares them. Because when someone walks through life without needing attention, without asking for approval, they break the rules. And broken rules shake people. So instead of praise, you get silence. Instead of applause, you get glances. But those glances mean something. They mean people see you, even if they pretend not to. They feel your presence even if they never speak on it. And today, I'm going to prove it to you. These are 7 real, powerful signs that you are far more attractive than you think. Even if no one ever told you, even if you've spent years in the shadows. Watch closely. You're about to recognize yourself in ways you never have before. Number 1. Have you ever caught someone staring at you, only for them to quickly look away the moment your eyes meet? Maybe you're sitting alone at a cafe, standing in a grocery line, walking through a crowd, and for a second, you feel it. That weight, that gaze. You turn, and boom, they're suddenly checking their phone or pretending to look past you. But you saw it. You felt it. And that wasn't just your imagination. That was recognition. That was one of the most overlooked signs of your hidden attractiveness. Here's the truth. Truly attractive people rarely hear it out loud. They don't get flooded with compliments or praise. Not because they aren't stunning, but because people are too caught off guard to say anything, or they assume you already know, or they're intimidated. So instead of walking up to you, they stare, quietly, cautiously. They admire from a distance. You see, when someone is drawn to you, whether it's your eyes, your energy, your calm confidence, they can't always process it fast enough to respond. So, their instinct is to watch, not talk. Watch, but only when they think you won't notice. That's the difference. When someone knows you're attractive, they become careful around you. They don't want to look obvious. They don't want to get caught being just another person drawn in by your presence. So, they observe quietly, respectfully, even nervously. And when your eyes lock with theirs, they bail, they retreat. Because in that moment, it's not just about how you look, it's about how your energy made them feel. That's the hidden truth. Attraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it's silent. Sometimes it hides in glances, in body language, in the spaces between words. And the people who feel your presence the strongest, they're often the ones who never say a thing. So the next time you catch someone looking at you like they've seen something rare, but they quickly turn away, don't ignore it. That's not an accident. That's a mirror being held up to your power. Number 2. Do strangers ever treat you differently and you don't know why? Maybe someone lets you cut in line. Maybe the barista holds eye contact a little too long. Maybe someone smiles at you like you're familiar, even though you've never met. And you wonder, why are they being so nice? You assume it's just random kindness. But it's not. It's recognition. You're giving off something. An energy they can't explain. A vibe they feel before they speak. A glow they notice before you even open your mouth. And the truth is, you don't have to do anything loud or flashy to be noticed. Sometimes your presence speaks before you do. Your posture, your voice, your stillness, your warmth, your subtle confidence. These things speak for you. People pick up on energy more than you realize. We live in a world obsessed with surface-level attraction. Perfect photos, loud personalities, attention-seeking. But real attraction is quieter. It's the way you hold eye contact without trying to impress. It's how your energy calms a space without forcing it. It's the unspoken ease people feel around you, even when you say nothing. That's not just personality. That's presence. And presence is powerful. You might think you're just average because no one says anything out loud. But what they do is respond to you differently. They give you more space, more attention, more softness. They linger in conversations. They act nervous. They're more generous, more curious, more respectful, and you never quite know why. But deep down, it's your silent magnetism. They're not reacting to your clothes or your looks alone. They're reacting to your energy. And energy doesn't lie. Being attractive isn't just about being seen. It's about being felt. And when people treat you special, without knowing you, that is the reason. You carry something they can't name. And most of the time, they won't say it. But they'll show it. They'll treat you like you matter. Because you do. Even if you don't see it yet. Number 3. Has anyone ever remembered you when you forgot them? Maybe someone walks up and says, "Hey, didn't I see you at that cafe last week?" Or, "Weren't you at that event a while ago?" And you're standing there thinking, "I don't even remember seeing you." That moment tells you more than you think. It means you didn't just pass through the room. You imprinted on it. You didn't say a word, but you were seen, felt, noticed, remembered. That's not luck. That's presence. Most people go unnoticed in a crowd, but some people carry a frequency that sticks, even in silence. And here's the truth. The most attractive people often have no idea how memorable they are, because they're not performing. They're not doing anything loud, dramatic, or flashy. They're just showing up as they are. Calm, grounded, unbothered, real. And that kind of authenticity cuts through noise like a knife. People remember you not because of something big you did, but because of who you were, just by existing. Your smile, your body language, the way you walk, the stillness in your eyes, it all makes an impact. You may have said nothing at all, but your energy spoke first. That's why people recall you without knowing your name. That's why you show up in their memory when you forgot the moment even happened. Because some people are forgettable, but not you. You linger. You stay with them. Long after you've walked out, your essence stays in the room. That's not by accident. That's attraction on a different level. So if you've ever had someone remember you with detail and you had no clue who they were, don't brush it off. That moment tells you everything. You are more magnetic than you think. You don't just enter places, you affect them. You don't just pass through, you're felt. And the ones who remember you are simply reacting to the quiet power you carry without even trying. Number 4. Have you ever received compliments on things you never thought were special? Maybe someone tells you, "You have such a calming voice," or "I love how you laugh," or even something unexpected like, "Your hands are really nice." And you pause for a second, because to you, those things are just normal. You never thought twice about them, but to someone else, they stood out. That's not random. That's recognition. When people start noticing the little things about you, the things you overlook, it's because their attention is tuned in to the details. And that's what deep attraction really looks like. It doesn't always fixate on what society says is beautiful. Sometimes it latches onto your voice, your expressions, your laugh, the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you love. These are the things you live with every day and never think of as unique, but someone else sees them and feels something. That's how real beauty works. It sneaks up on people. It lives in the subtle. And when someone takes the time to compliment something you didn't even realize was noticeable, it means they're seeing you, not just your surface. They're paying attention. They're feeling drawn in by something deeper than makeup, muscles, or clothing. They're seeing the parts of you you've never even thought of as attractive. And that's powerful. That's real connection. And the best part? You don't have to try for those things to shine. They shine naturally. Because you're not performing, you're just being. And when you're just being, your true beauty shows. So the next time someone points out something small about you, a feature, a gesture, a habit, don't brush it off. Those compliments aren't small at all. They're proof that your presence reaches people in ways you don't even notice. And if people are seeing beauty where you didn't, maybe it's time to look a little closer. Maybe it's time to realize you're not as invisible or average as you once believed. Number 5. Do people try to impress you without ever saying it? Maybe someone's voice gets louder when you walk into the room. Suddenly they're telling better stories, cracking more jokes, or talking about their achievements a little too proudly. You didn't ask for it. You didn't expect it. But it happens. That's not coincidence. That's behavior driven by attraction. When someone finds you attractive, they want you to notice them. They want to matter in your eyes. And they'll do whatever they can to stand out. Not with direct compliments, but by raising their energy around you. They want to be seen by the person who quietly commands the room, and that person is you. They'll act more confident, more charming, even a little competitive. And if you're not used to seeing yourself as someone who stands out, you might miss the signs. You might think, why are they acting different? But their actions are speaking clearly. They're saying, you matter to me. Your attention means something. And people don't seek attention from those they don't admire. Whether it's a coworker who suddenly becomes extra helpful, or a stranger who adjusts their posture when you walk by. It's not just random social behavior. It's subtle signaling, the kind we all do when someone's energy shifts something in us. And here's the wild part. You're not even trying. You're just being, just existing. But your presence changes the room. It changes how others feel about themselves. So they try harder. Not because you ask them to, but because something about you makes them want to show up as more. And you might not realize the effect you have because no one tells you. But watch how they act. Watch how they shift. That tells the real story. So if people start talking bigger, acting bolder, or getting slightly nervous around you, that's a sign. It means they already see your worth, even if you're still learning to see it yourself. Number 6. Have people ever assumed you're in a relationship when you're not? Maybe someone says, you must have a girlfriend, or they look genuinely surprised when you tell them you're single. They tilt their head, pause, and say, really? That reaction isn't about your relationship status. It's about your presence. It means they assume someone like you must already be taken. Why? Because you give off something solid, something grounded, something complete. You carry yourself like someone who doesn't need attention to feel valuable. And that kind of self-possession reads as confidence. Calm, attractive. People look at you and assume that someone has already claimed your energy, claimed your warmth, claimed your loyalty. Because most people don't come across individuals who radiate quiet strength very often, and when they do, it stands out. Attractive people often seem unavailable, not because they're rude or closed off, but because they seem whole, not seeking, not desperate, just present, comfortable in their skin. And that kind of presence naturally creates curiosity. When you're confident in your space, when you walk like someone who knows who they are, people automatically assume you've already been chosen. They think, someone must have seen what I'm seeing and locked that down. And that assumption says more about how others see you than you realize. It's not just a guess. It's a reflection of how your energy comes across. Strong, secure, desirable. So if you've heard this more than once, if people regularly act surprised when they find out you're single, don't shrug it off like it's nothing. That reaction is a signal. It means your attractiveness is showing up without you trying. It means others are already seeing what you might still be discovering about yourself. You don't have to be loud. You don't have to be flashy. Your presence does the talking. And when people assume you're already taken, it's because on some level, they already know. You are the kind of person people want to hold on to. Number 7. And maybe the most powerful of all. Do people open up to you easily? Do strangers suddenly start telling you their life stories? Do friends confide in you when they're going through something heavy? Do people feel calm just being near you, even if they don't know you well? That's not random. That's not a coincidence. That's a deep, rare form of attraction. It's not about your face. It's not about your style. It's about your energy, your soul, your presence. When people feel emotionally safe around you, it means your spirit carries peace. You don't have to say much. Your silence speaks calm. Your eyes say, "You're safe here." Your body language says, "You don't have to pretend with me." That's rare in this world. Most people are used to judgment, to surface-level interactions, to noise and pressure. But when someone steps into your space and suddenly feels like they can breathe, they feel something deeper than attraction. They feel connection, and that's unforgettable. You may not think of yourself as someone who stands out, but if people come to you for comfort, if they feel understood without you needing to fix them, that's magnetic. That's beautiful. It's a sign that your energy is healing, and people are drawn to that, even if they don't consciously realize why. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room. You don't have to be flashy. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to be you. So, if people are opening up around you, if they feel safe and seen in your presence, understand this. That is the highest form of attraction. You're not just easy to look at. You're easy to trust. And trust is more powerful than looks will ever be. In a world full of shallow connections, you are depth. You are warmth. You are the calm they didn't know they were searching for. And that is something no one can fake. So let's be honest. Maybe no one ever told you these things before. Maybe you've spent years thinking you were just, okay, average, unremarkable. You looked at the people online, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and thought, I'm not like them. You believed you had to look a certain way, dress a certain way, sound a certain way, just to be seen. And because no one ever said otherwise, you believed the silence meant you weren't special. But here's the truth. You are attractive in your own way, in a way that can't always be measured in likes, followers, or compliments. You don't need model features to be magnetic. You don't need perfect skin, a sculpted body, or flashy confidence to stand out. You already stand out, not because you're loud, but because you're real. Not because you're trying, but because your energy speaks even when you're silent. You are noticed, you are remembered, and most importantly, you matter. There are people who feel something when you walk into a room, people who remember your voice, your smile, your stillness. People who don't say a word, but whose behavior shifts when you're around. That's not your imagination, that's your power. You just didn't know how powerful it really was, until now. So the next time you look in the mirror, don't look for flaws. Don't look for what's missing. Pause, breathe, and see what others already see. See the strength in your eyes. See the calm in your presence. See the kindness in your face. See the quiet power that's been there all along. Because the truth is, you are more attractive than you think. Always were, always will be. Now it's time for you to believe it too, because the moment you do, the world will feel it and respond.